Hello CloudNet members. Today we thought we would have a brief overview of an Aastra 6731 device. Your 6731 communicates over your IP data network, meaning that it plugs into your data jack, not a phone jack. If your company is using a PoE, Power over Ethernet switch, then your phone will attach to your data jack in the wall and you'll receive power to operate through the PoE switch. But if your company is not using a PoE data switch, then you may need an additional power injector to power your phone. Next, your computer may plug directly into the second port located on the back of the phone, depending upon your office data wiring and configuration. As we look at the phone, we have the following keys and features: a message waiting lamp for new voicemail indication, 8 programmable keys, an 8-line LCD screen, navigation keys, a hold key, 2 volume keys, a redial key. The redial key will hold 100 call records. Press it twice to redial the last number dialed. A mute key, a goodbye key to end an active call or call process. This key will also immediately route incoming calls to your mailbox greeting when your phone is ringing and key pressed. An options key, which is primarily a key the technician uses when first programming the phone. This key requires a passcode to access the programming functions. A caller's key, which is simply a call history key. This key will access your last 200 calls received. After pressing the caller's key, you may use your up or down navigation key to scroll the records. A conference key to build a conference call. A transfer key. Your line keys to make and receive calls. And lastly, a speaker key. Before we move on, let's chat a bit about the top 8 programmable keys. These keys may have been programmed by your installing technician, or you may program these keys yourself via your web GUI. That's graphical user interface, by the way. But however these keys are programmed, either by you or your technician, you'll need to label these keys with the functions as they're programmed. To do this, you'll first pry off the logo plate at the top of the phone. When you receive your new phone, besides receiving a CD in the package, you'll also find some blank key cards. You may use these key cards by hand printing the key functions on them, tearing along the perforated edges, and slipping them down into the slot. Or you may log on to your CloudNet web GUI and choose the print function, which will print to your default printer, cut along the dotted lines, and insert the key card. If you're unfamiliar with the CloudNet web GUI, don't panic. We have a video entitled CloudNet web GUI. Within this training video, we explain how to program any spare keys on your phone. This is found about the 8-minute and 30-second mark within the video. Within the key programming area of your web GUI, you'll notice at the bottom right there's a print function. This print function is what allows you to print the key card to insert into your phone. But to give you just a quick overview, we will go through a couple PowerPoints for a quick review on how to print your key cards. Now here's a quick PowerPoint, a screenshot of your web GUI. What you'll do is you'll come into your Settings tab, come down to Set Keys, which will take you to the picture of your phone. To change any of your keys, you'll just hover your mouse over a blank key, left click, and use the drop down menu to change the key function. Now once you change your keys, you'll need to come down and save those changes. Once you save those changes, you'll need to unplug and plug your phone back in to reboot the phone in order for the new keys to appear. But once you've made your key changes, then to print your key card, come down very far right hand side, click the print function, and print that key card. So anyway, let's get back to some of those user functions on your phone. We'll talk about functions such as dialing, holding, transferring, and conference calls. So let's place a call. You may lift your handset or press the speaker button and dial like a regular phone. But if you notice, when using this method, it takes approximately 5 seconds after you've input the last digit before the phone actually begins to dial. Remember that these are VoIP devices and have similar functions such as your cell phone, like a dial soft key that appears when you lift your handset. But if you're the type of a person who's in a hurry to get that number dialed and save just a few more seconds, you may pre-dial a telephone number and then press your dial soft key. By using this method, your call will route without the 5-second delay before the beginning of the outbound dial process. To dial a coworker, just dial the last 4 digits of the coworker phone number. These last 4 digits will be their internal extension number. To place this call on hold, just press your hold key. If that call is left on hold for too long, your phone will beep softly to remind you the call is holding. To reconnect to the caller, press the hold key again, or press the flashing line key. So that was some basic steps. Let's move on and transfer a call. You can transfer in 2 ways. You can do what's called a blind transfer to a coworker, meaning that you route the call immediately, and if your staff member does not answer that call, the call will bounce into the receiving staff member's mailbox after about 5 no-answer rings. But you can also do an announced transfer to the coworker and let them know who you are sending to them before releasing the caller to them. That's mostly how we operate here at Transwest CloudNet. So let's do a supervised or an announced transfer for demonstration purposes here. So with your calling party on the line, you'll press your transfer key. At this point, your caller cannot hear you, and if your system has been configured with music on hold, that's what the callers will hear. Using your dial pad, dial the receiving party's extension number. Select the dial soft key.
Transwest Network Solutions.
Hi Brenda, it's Scott. We're doing a video in here. If the receiving party wishes to accept the call, you may now press the transfer button in order to route and exit the call. If the receiving party refuses the call, you must first press the drop soft key, followed by the flashing line key to return to the original caller. Now, to hang up from the original call, you may replace your handset or use the goodbye key to exit. Now, I'm sure your very next question was, Scott and Catherine, how do I transfer a call to somebody's mailbox without ringing their phone? Well, here's those steps. With your caller on the line, just like before, you'll start out by pressing your transfer key. You'll dial the digit 8, followed by the receiving party's internal extension number. Press the dial soft key, followed by the transfer key, and the goodbye key to end. Now let's talk about building a conference call. It's a very easy process. With your caller on the line, you'll press the conference key. You will then pre-dial your second party. Don't forget to press the dial soft key. And then when the second party answers, you'll press the conference key again to connect the two parties. Now, let's talk about one last thing before we end and say goodbye for the day. Let's visit about your personal mailbox, how to access it while sitting at your Aastra desk phone, and how to access it remotely while you're lounging at the beach with your cell phone. Your CloudNet technician will have given you a voicemail key. All you have to do is press your voicemail key, or you may also dial *98. Both functions do the same thing, but however you choose, these two options will take you to your mailbox where you'll be prompted to enter your mailbox security code. Now let's take that little trip and imagine we're sitting on the beach somewhere and you want to access your mailbox from your cell phone. You may dial your DID, and that's just a fancy phone technician word that stands for direct inward dial. Basically, it's a phone number assigned to your extension directly. But you'll call your DID, and when your greeting begins to play, you'll press the star key where you'll be prompted to enter your passcode for your mailbox. So this pretty much sums up a quick user tutorial on your Aastra 6731 iPhone. We hope you found the information you needed here, and if we can be of any help, feel free to contact us. We are found on the web at www.cloudnetgroup.com. Thank you.